All right, guys, week 12 of Book Buzz is about to get started. I'm here with Alonzo Simon. We're going to talk about 3 titles this week. First is Saucer State by Ryan Kelley and Paul Cornell. Second is Richard Stark's Parker SLAYGROUND, the 4th award-winning book by Darwyn Cooke's adaptation of Donald Westlake's novels. This is the trade paperback format. And we'll also take an advanced look at the Eurocomics edition of Violette Around the World. This is a young reader's book that focuses on the 12-year-old girl Violette, who's a member of a French circus, and her really colorful and exciting family life that she sort of got. Anyway, 3 titles. We're going to talk to you about them right now. Let's take a look.
So next up is Richard Stark's Parker SLAYGROUND. This is the 4th book in our Parker series by Richard Stark, who was Donald Westlake, and of course the great artist Darwyn Cooke. So as you guys all know, you probably, if you've heard anything about these stories, you know they're critically acclaimed, beautifully done by Darwyn. His sense of style perfectly captures the time period, the style of art to capture, you know, the crime, the noir, that type of story. I mean, really, he was the perfect person to adapt these stories. So SLAYGROUND takes place after a robbery, and Parker is trying to get away, but he's being chased by the cops. So he runs into an empty amusement park, basically, that's closed down for the winter. But the 2 cops, of course, instead of trying to catch him, they see an opportunity for themselves. And so it becomes a cat and mouse game between him and the cops, where, of course, you know, Parker is going to flip it around on them. So, you know, awesome crime story, awesome art. Check it out.
Hey guys, so I want to tell you about the Hugo Award-nominated Saucer State. This is the sequel to 2012's Vertigo series Saucer Country by creators Paul Cornell and Ryan Kelley. So whether you're a fan of UFOs, conspiracy theories, the idea of mind control, or even just infatuated with this sort of phenomenon of fake news that we're living through in 2017 and 2018, Cornell and Kelley have got a story here that's just got something for you. It's such a phenomenal story. It deals with so many facets of pop culture as far as I've learned to understand them in my life. Let me just tell you this. The New York Times is reporting stories right now that lend this book an air of believability that you've got to read for yourself to understand. And that's Saucer State. It's in stores this week.
So next up, we have something that we're actually currently working on right now. So this is Violette Around the World, the book 1, My Head in the Clouds. Now this is a European story that we brought over. It's for young readers, you know. It revolves around a 12-year-old girl, Violette, whose family are in the circus. Her mom and her uncle, they run the circus. Her uncle is the head of the circus. It's like generations in her mother's side of the family, and so she kind of deals with like issues of feeling different in the world, right? Sometimes she just wants to be normal. She just wants sort of a boring life, but of course, you know, she doesn't have that. But then she also she comes to realize that you know that everybody's normal is different, and her normal is the circus, and she lives amongst a very diverse group of people who speak all kinds of languages, who come from all kinds of different backgrounds in her life, and it's just her learning to accept that and realize that she's one of them.
All right, well, that was 12 weeks of Book Buzz. We showed you UFO, amazing conspiracy UFO story, Saucer State. We showed you the award-winning art of Darwyn Cooke in Richard Stark's Parker SLAYGROUND. And we also showed you a little bit about 12-year-old French girl Violette and how she learns to appreciate the wonder and magic of her own life amongst all the other challenges it has to be normal in the world. So anyway, 12 weeks of Book Buzz, 3 more books coming out next week. I'm Justin Eisinger, on behalf of myself and Alonzo Simon. Thanks for checking in.